Hello children, this is my second video on lesson number 10, gravitation. In my last video we have seen what is gravitation, what is universal law of gravitation. Then we also saw what is free fall, and then we saw what is how to calculate the value of g. That means this acceleration due to gravity. And by this video we are going to study the motion of objects under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. In this we are going to understand whether all objects, whether they are big or small, hollow or solid, fall from a height at the same rate. Activity 10.3. Take a sheet of paper and a stone, and we drop them simultaneously from the top floor of a or first floor from a building. Observe what happens. Does both stone and the paper reach the bottom at the same time? We see that paper reaches the ground little later than the stone. Stone comes down fast. Stone comes crashing down, whereas paper takes some time. Why? Because of resistance of air. Air offers resistance due to friction to the motion of the falling objects. The resistance offered by air to the paper is more than the resistance offered to the stone. That is why we see that paper takes some more time to come down, whereas stone comes down crashing very fast. It comes down. Now the same experiment, if we repeat in a glass jar from which we suck out all the air, that means there is no air in a glass jar, and in that glass jar, that means there is a vacuum in the glass jar, all the air is taken out, and then we perform the same experiment. That means we throw a paper and a stone. The paper and stone would fall at the same rate. Their speed will not change. They both will fall at the same time. We have already explained to you what is free fall. So, during free fall, an object experiences acceleration during free fall. This acceleration experienced by an object is independent of its mass. That means if a big object, small object, hollow object or a solid object, they fall down, they experience acceleration at the same rate, independent of its mass. G, small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, is constant near the earth. So all the equations that we have studied in lesson number 8, motion, in that wherever acceleration comes, instead of a we write g. See the equation, v is equal to u plus at. So when a body is falling freely, so that means first it is at rest. That means supposing you catch a ball in your hand, so u is always 0. So v is equal to u plus at becomes v is equal to gt, because u is 0, initial velocity will be 0, and instead of a we write g, so v is equal to gt. Second equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now a body falling freely, initial velocity will be 0, so u is 0, and half at square becomes half gt square, and the distance here is the height. When a body is falling freely, it is falling from a height, so we don't have distance. Instead of distance we say it is height. So s is equal to ut plus half at square will become h is equal to half gt square. Now third equation, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Like I said, initial velocity is always 0 when a body is falling from a height. So it becomes v square is equal to 2a. A will become g. So it will become v square is equal to 2gh. And where u and v are initial velocity, u is initial, v is final, and s is the distance covered. So distance becomes height. S becomes height. So In all this equation, we will take acceleration A to be positive when it is in the direction of the velocity, that is the direction of motion. The acceleration A will be taken as negative when it opposes the motion. Otherwise, we take it as positive. Now, my next topic, mass. What is mass? Mass of an object is the measure of its inertia. Greater the mass, greater is the inertia. And mass remains the same whether the object is on the earth or in the moon or anywhere else. So mass of an object is constant and does not change from place to place. So mass is the amount of matter present in any body and it remains constant. It does not change. Whether the body is on moon or on the earth, the mass remains same. Now we come to see what is weight. The weight of an object is the force with which it is attracted towards the earth. The weight of an object is the force with which it is attracted towards the earth. We already know that F is equal to ma. Now acceleration will become g. So F is equal to mg. The force of attraction of the earth on an object is known as the weight of the object. And weight is equal to m into g. M is the mass and g is the acceleration due to gravity. So W is equal to mg. And what is the SI unit of weight? SI unit of weight is same as the SI unit of force, that is Newton. So SI unit of weight is Newton. The weight is a force acting vertically downwards. It has both magnitude and direction. So the SI unit of weight is Newton. What is the SI unit of mass? SI unit of mass is kg and SI unit of weight is Newton. And we have already seen that the mass of an object remains the same everywhere. That is whether you are on the earth or on the moon. But weight changes. Because weight is equal to mass into gravity. When the gravity changes, the value of g changes when it is on the earth and on the moon. Therefore, the weight varies. So, next topic, weight of an object on the moon. The weight of an object on the earth is the force with which the earth attracts the object. Same way, the weight of the object on the moon is the force with which the moon attracts that object. The mass of the moon is less than that of the earth. Due to this, the moon exerts lesser force of attraction on the objects. So let us see. Supposing the mass of an object, let us take an object whose mass is m. And its weight on moon is Wm. Weight of that object on moon is Wm. Let the mass of the moon is capital M, small m, mm. And the radius of the moon is Rm. Radius of the moon. So now we apply the universal law of gravitation to calculate the mass of the body on the moon. So Wm is equal to force. F is, we know universal law of gravitation. F is equal to g m into m upon r square. So in this case, we take Wm. That means weight on the moon is equal to capital G. That is universal law of gravitation. Mm, mass on the moon, into m, that weight of that object. And Rm is the radius of the moon. So this is the weight of the body on the moon. Now, then we take the weight of the body on the earth. We is equal to G capital M upon R square. So we calculate both the weight of the body on the moon and weight of the body on the earth. And then we keep it Wm upon We, the ratio of weight on the moon upon weight on the earth. So we get 1 upon 6. Wm upon We is equal to 0.1 165 is equal to 1 upon 6. So weight of the object on the moon upon the weight of the object on the earth is equal to 1/6. Weight of the object on the moon is equal to 1/6 of its weight on the earth. So a body which weighs 1/6 on moon. Then thrust and pressure. Next topic, thrust and pressure. We have already studied the camel is called the ship of the desert. So have you ever wondered why a camel can run on a desert easily, whereas for us to walk on desert is so difficult? Why an army tank weighing more than 1,000 ton rests upon a continuous chain? Why a truck or a motor bus have wider tires? Why cutting tools have sharp edges? In order to address these questions, we have to understand the phenomena. These two phenomena we have to understand. What is thrust? Net force acting in a perpendicular direction is thrust, and the force per unit area is pressure. In order to understand this concept, why a camel can run on the desert, let us see what is thrust and pressure by seeing certain situations. Situation number 1. You want to fix a poster on the bulletin board. Then we need what? Pins, drawing pins, and we have to press the drawing pins with our thumb in order to fix the poster on the bulletin board. We apply a force on the surface area of the head of the pin. This force is directed perpendicular to the surface area of the board. This force acts on a smaller area at the tip of the pin. So we have seen a pin. Pin has two ends. One is the broad end, one is the sharp end. The sharp end will go inside the bulletin board and we press the broad end of the pin. Situation 2. Stand on a loose sand. Our feet will go deep into the sand, and it's so difficult for us to walk on the loose sand because our legs are going inside the sand. So we have to drag that leg out of the sand and then try to walk. It's very difficult to walk. Now let us do one thing. Let us lie down on the loose sand. लेट जाते हैं. You will find that your body will not go that deep. जितने डीप हमारे लेग सैंड में घुस जा रहे थे उतना डीप अब हमारी बॉडी नहीं जा रही अंदर, बिकॉज वी आर लाइंग डाउन. इन बोथ केसेस द फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन द सैंड इज द वेट ऑफ योर बॉडी. व्हेन वी आर स्टैंडिंग तो भी हमारा वेट सैंड के ऊपर लग रहा है, एंड व्हेन वी आर लाइंग डाउन भी लग रहा है. बट वाई द बॉडी डजंट गो, वाई द बॉडी will not go that deep in the sand when we are lying down. So we have already seen what is weight. Weight is the force acting vertically downwards. Here the force is acting perpendicular to the surface of the sand. The force acting on an object perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. So when we are standing on the loose sand, the weight of our body is acting on the area equal to our feet. पूरा weight हमारे पैरों पे है. But when we lie down, same force, क्योंकि force depends on the weight, same force acts on an area equal to the contact area of your whole body, which is larger than the area of the feet. जब हम खड़े होते हैं, only our feet, whole weight is acting on the feet. But we are lying down. When we are lying down, that weight gets distributed over the area, whole body. Thus the effect of forces of the same magnitude on different areas are different. In the above cases, thrust is same but effect is different. So the effect of thrust on sand is larger when we are standing than when we are lying. So the thrust on unit area is called pressure. Pressure is equal to thrust upon area. So pressure is equal to thrust upon area. SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, because the as a unit of SI unit of thrust is Newton upon area. Area means meter into meter. So SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, or we also called the SI unit of pressure as Pascal, denoted as PA, capital P, small a. And to give honor to the scientist Blaise Pascal, the SI unit of pressure is called Pascal. So let us see some more examples. Numericals we'll do later on. First let me complete the theory. So pressure acts on solid, liquid and gases also. The pressure in fluids, in liquids. All gases and liquids are called fluids. A solid exerts pressure on a surface due to its weight. Similarly, fluids also have weight. So what are fluids? Liquid and gases are fluids, and they also exert pressure on the base, the walls of the container in which they are kept. So pressure exerted in any confined mass of fluid is transmitted undiminished in all directions. So whenever there is a gas or a liquid, there is kept in a container, they also exert pressure on the container, and this pressure is transmitted undiminished in all directions. So in my next video I am going to explain to you pressure in fluids in detail. So with this I finish today's video. Hope you have understood it. Go through the videos. This is my second video on this lesson number 10, gravitation. In my third video I will complete the whole lesson. Thank you.